From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Hi everyone, I'm Chris Conte. Welcome to OpenLine on News Channel 5 Plus. Since it is officially summer now, we are going to be talking about summer eating today and trying to stay healthy as we get through these warmer summer months, as a lot of people start to wander from their diets or some of their regular eating plans, especially now that we've gotten kind of far away from New Year's Eve and some of those New Year's Eve resolutions. With me today we have Dyan Damron from Coach D Consulting. Dyan, I know, you know, a lot of barbecues, a lot of outings, just a lot of opportunities for people in the summer to kind of gain some weight and kind of maybe stray from those good eating habits.
It's amazing because we seem to be so healthy during the summer, always out and active, but some of the worst eating that we do is during the summer, whether it's grill outs, barbecues, summer vacations, all kinds of things like that. And a lot of times it's we don't necessarily eat as much during the hot part of the day, but then we all sit down and have a big dinner, or kind of splurging on things, and especially sweets during the summer. So yeah.
Do you find that, I mean, you're talking about people eating, maybe worse during the summer, and I feel like typically people talk about the winter and they think, oh, holiday parties, and I'm eating all this, these candies and cookies and holiday stuff, but that's not really
I think it's kind of, it can be a misconception because, you're out and about, but everybody thinks like, oh, it's heavy food during the holidays, and that's kind of the focus during the winter, and we tend to just, not be as active. So I think people kind of get lazy in what they're eating during the summers because they feel like they're so active, like, oh, well, I can have that, I can have that ice cream, and then you can have the barbecue, and then you can have the coleslaw. A lot of the things that you don't necessarily think are so heavy are really not as good for you during the summers. And again, because we're so active, I think we allow ourselves things. But yeah, I mean, it's year round really that we have to keep in mind, be cognizant of what we're eating.
Does the summer, in terms of warmth and heat and the temperature outside and stuff, does it present any special challenges? I mean, to people who are trying to maybe eat healthy during those summer months? And
I from a lot of my clients, I will hear, well, it's so hot and I'm active and I don't want to eat, so they won't eat, which actually is worse for you. The longer you go, your metabolism stalls, so they'll say, well, it's too hot to eat, so they might barely eat a little breakfast, and then they'd go all day and they work, and they're probably at 6 p.m. they come home, they've showered, and whether it's from the pool or working out in the yard or whatever, and they've showered, and then they want something, and usually by that time they're not only just hungry, but they're very thirsty too. And a lot of times our initial hunger pains are actually thirst, because we haven't had enough to drink. So that's the thing, especially in the summer when we're sweating as much, we definitely need to keep up with drinking plenty of water, and not the sugary drinks, because that will actually dehydrate you. So
is there even a misconception out there that especially like someone like myself, I'm outside a lot during the heat of the day, and so I feel like I'm probably burning more calories during the summer just working during the day, and so you almost need to replenish even more to keep up with that.
No, and heat actually it's very little difference, but actually our bodies burn more calories trying to stay warm, like when it's really, really cold versus when it's hot. So just because you're sweating, you're just losing water weight. You don't need, just because it's hot, you don't need more calories to stay strong during the heat. No.
And we're talking about some tips. You were talking about not eating huge meals in one sitting. What are some tips you have for people?
Well, I would definitely say I'm big on eating regularly throughout the day, not going more than 4 hours probably without eating something, and especially on vacation. I feel like a lot of times we might go a really long time and have a huge meal, or or the opposite of that is snacking all day long but not necessarily paying attention to the intake that you're having. One thing that I really like is, a lot of times people will say 4 to 5 meals. That's, to me, to think about having 5 meals, that's a lot of work. I just don't have time for that. So what I try to say is 3 meals and then 2 snacks. And I am really big on snacks, and I think this is really good for vacation too. And I actually was recently, was traveling, and I had 24 hours being either in an airport or on a plane, and never actually went anywhere with storms and everything. And luckily I took some trail mix with me, and trail mix, I'm a huge proponent of making your own trail mix, and I think I brought a couple of photos of trail mix that I think is great. You can make it just with your own dried fruit and nuts, and even just some cereal, whatever cereal you've got, and just take that with you. And the good thing about it is it doesn't go bad. You can put it. I had them stuck in my suitcase, and just took. Yeah. See, the one on the left is just good. It's got, you know, made with Cheerios and yeah. And the good thing about it is it doesn't crush. And then the other one, I've just got it in a baggie, and that's just got some shredded wheat with it. And you know, I would stick them just in little compartments wherever you can find in your suitcase. And luckily, you know, when I was stuck with nowhere to go at the airport, I just pulled out some trail mix.
And that stuff's okay to go through security.
Yes,
you know,
yeah, because there's no liquids. Right, there's no liquids or anything like that. And it's good because it's a mix of protein and some carbs and things, so it'll keep you satiated, you know, for a long time. And I think that's really great for vacation, as well as, you know, when I was younger, I played a lot of softball, and you know, you'd be gone for the entire weekend, and you know, on a day when you're not really sure what's going to happen, make that trail mix and, you know, individually portion it and just put it wherever it'll go, because it's also good in the heat. You know, it doesn't require a lot of refrigeration or anything.
I mean, especially even, you know, talking about airport travel during the summer. I mean, a trail mix bag like that would probably cost $7 or $8 at the airport.
Yes, yeah.
So you're not only, you know, helping yourself out in the nutrition sense, but I mean, in terms of expense too, that's it's a lot cheaper.
Even just the trail mix like that, you know, I make it when I'm just at home, because first of all, you control the sugar, so you can control the nuts. I mix it up with walnuts or almonds. You can use cranberries or apricots or raisins or whatever you know, whatever you and your kids or family or whoever likes. And if you buy in bulk and then individually portion it, you're saving a huge amount of money just from the grocery store, and much less from the airport.
How do you, say you're making those individual trail mixes, how do you work on portion control in terms of, you know, obviously you get a giant Ziploc bag and you fill it up and you put, you know, 1,000 calories worth of trail mix in there, but I mean, so how can you ensure
I do it in a big bowl where I dump everything in one big bowl, and then I individually portion out, because those were in little individual baggies, so I will individually portion out each one while I'm there, and then that way it's almost like grabbing a granola bar, but you're just grabbing individual baggies of it. And you can even get the little snack baggies now, but you really want it to be for you know, you want about a quarter cup of nuts, so you know, the whole thing would be about a half a cup total, and I just take them and you just put them in the bags.
Yeah. So you're on vacation, you know, maybe say you drive down to Destin or the beach somewhere, you're there for a week. How do you recommend to people, you know, maybe they're going out for a lot of meals because they don't want to cook because they're on vacation. How do you still kind of keep yourself in check if that's how, you know, you're working?
Plan ahead. Just like when you're at home, I think planning ahead is a big thing. And what I like to do is kind of when you're on the very first day, when you get to your destination, wherever it is that you're going, kind of walk around and scope out some restaurants that you want to see. I'm big on not wasting calories. If it's not worth wasting calories, don't waste them, or fat, you know, whatever it happens to be. But I like to go kind of scope out some of the restaurants, pick out some of your favorites. For example, if you're going to the beach, a lot of times people will want a certain seafood restaurant. So go check that out and plan ahead and say, okay, we're going to go here for dinner, and then maybe, you know, you want to splurge on whether it's key lime pie or saltwater taffy, or, you know, if you're going to California, you know, there's, you know, a fish tacos, or, you know, whatever it happens to be, whatever's the specialty, get that. But don't get, you know, a burger from McDonald's, because you can get that here. You know, get some, you know, spend the calories on the specialty that's there and enjoy
where
it.
You are.
That's right, that's right. And I'm big on walking too. Walk, see the sights, get out and kind of plan ahead. And a lot of times you can go and get, even here locally when you're at home, I'm big on looking at the restaurant menus ahead of time so that you're not tempted. You know what you're going to order when you get there, plan ahead. And it's the same way when you're going and walking around the resort or beach or wherever you are. Usually they'll have some takeaway menus that you can take back to the hotel, and the families kind of can plan, okay, we're going to go here Monday, here Tuesday, and just splurge one meal a day, whatever that happens to be. You know, you can usually go to the grocery and stock up some things, maybe in the mini refrigerator or something, and have some things that you eat throughout the day, and then have the one special meal each day.
What about exercise on vacation? I mean, I think, you know, some people really are just say, oh, I'm going on vacation for 7 days. That's it. No exercise, no running, no. And other people you know, they take the time to actually be able to enjoy exercising because they have the free time. What are your tips about?
I think you should always exercise while you're there, and whether everybody can take a pair of tennis shoes wherever you go, and I'm a runner, but even if you don't run, one thing I really love is getting up first thing in the morning and going for a run and sightseeing. That's the best way to kind of see where you are. And during the summer months, there's usually not anywhere you can go that the weather wouldn't be at least, okay for you to walk and run in, and that way you can kind of get up in the morning, get it over with, and then if you don't want to, don't shower, just go jump in the pool, and kind of get it over with. But I also think that, let's say you're somewhere where the weather's not great, or it's too hot, or you don't feel safe getting out, something like that. There are plenty of things that you can do in the hotel room if the hotel doesn't have most places will have a really good fitness room of some sort now, but there are plenty of things. When I went on my trip, I took the little bands, you can just take, and those will just stick in a pocket bands, somewhere. And you can use that, or you can just use your own body weight in the hotel room. I've shown these before, but there are plenty of things that you can do, just kind of moving the furniture around in your hotel room and using the coffee table or the bed or wherever you've got. So these are some photos where they were actually taken in my living room, and you just can do plank, and I don't necessarily recommend getting down on the floor in the hotel room. I would put some towels down. I put towels down, and I will do these exercises in my hotel room.
That's abs
plank,
there,
right.
Triceps, biceps.
The previous, I don't know if we can go back to the first one that we showed. The first one, the big one on the left, is just doing plank, and that's just using your own body weight and just holding it for as long as you can. And then the top one is just doing lunges, just standing right where you are. And you can do this watching TV or with the kids, and then using the coffee table just to do push-ups is very easy. And then the next one, I just rotated over to do the side plank on the next photo. And then I'm using bottles of water to do bicep curls, but you could use whatever's in the hotel room. And then just, again, turning around doing tricep dips using that same table. So, those are all things that you can do while you're waiting. A lot of times when you're on vacation, there's a lot of waiting time, because there's one shower, one bathroom while somebody else is showering. Do that when you get home. Yeah, absolutely.
We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to continue talking about nutrition tips specifically for these warm summer months. Stay with us.